All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on to the final chronological released album from the Beatles. Let It Be, their 1970 final album, even though it wasn't the last album they recorded. That was Abbey Road. This album was one that I enjoyed on my initial reaction, but didn't love. I felt like this album was a little bit of an inconsistent mess that was good, was very good, but wasn't... It felt like you could feel the band falling apart in real time, and I think that did affect the experience of this album. I feel like while that was a fascinating aspect of this, it definitely did result in some of these tracks feeling a little bit disjointed. You could feel the tension rising in ways that made some certain tracks feel a little bit unsatisfying, and I remember there being a handful of songs on this album that I was not crazy on. I've not listened to it in full since then. There have been a handful of tracks I've returned to. So a lot of this is going to be pretty fresh in my mind. A lot of this is going to be essentially kind of like a first reaction. I do not remember the majority of these songs. The only one I can two of them that I could really strongly remember are Let It Be and Get Back. The rest of them, this is going to be a pretty fresh listen. Again, this album came out in 1970. It is 12 tracks, 35 minutes. Let's do this. Track 1, Two of Us.
The Deaf Aids. Phase 1, in which Doris gets her oats. Two of us riding nowhere, spending someone's hard-earned pay. We're going home.
McLennan fans eating good. I'm already not loving this. This is quite the messy track so far. None of these sections are really adding up in a way that's all that cohesive or satisfying. I am not crazy on the melodic aspects of this track at all. I think the joint vocal performance at the beginning was decent. I don't know, man. This entire thing so far feels a little wonky. This track is okay so far. I don't hate it. I'm just not loving it. I think that it's got a decent bass line. I like the acoustics. This particular mix is maybe a little bit cluttered, but I don't know. This song so far is cruising in 6 out of 10 territory. You can really hear how unproduced it is. That was thoroughly boring. That song was shockingly drab and incredibly colorless. Yikes. I don't know, a flat 5 on that? I didn't dislike that track. I was just fucking bored to tears. That song was such a flat and deeply uninteresting acoustic piece that doesn't have any interesting melodic elements. It doesn't have any interesting switch-ups. The performances feel phoned in. Nothing here is adding up into anything that I felt was even worth paying attention to. This song was so dry. Yikes. Fucking hell. I don't remember the album starting this week. Oh, shit. God, I hope the rest of the album doesn't shrink on me like this. Oh, no. Ooh. Up next we have Dig a Pony.
can celebrate anything you want. Yes, you can penetrate any place you go. I told you so. All I want is you. Everything has got to be just like you want it to. Because
I like the waltzy feel of this track. It's kind of got that slow dance quality to it.
everything you are to be just like you want it to. Because
Interesting how pulling the cover is in a red background feels like a representation of the public image of him at the time the villain of the Beatles split up. I see. I didn't even think about that.
thank you, brothers. My hand's getting too cold to play a chord now.
This album is really not off to the strongest start. Two tracks that are just kind of uninteresting to me, man. The performances are decent still, but it feels like the songs themselves don't have that much character or life. They don't pop in the same way tracks on, say, like Abbey Road do, or any of the back half of the Beatles catalog. These songs do not like come to life in any ways that intrigue me at all. They're holding their best ideas for the solo projects. It genuinely feels that way. We have two songs here, one acoustic track that feels like it doesn't bring anything of note to the table, and then one track that has like a nice waltzy feel. I like the vocals on this song, but the instrumental is about as interesting as a fucking box of nails. I would give this a low 6. It's okay. This album, these first two tracks are okay. But wow, I am just indescribably bored by this. Holy shit. Across the Universe, I remember this song being decent.
Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither wildly as they slip away across the universe. Nothing's gonna change my world. Nothing's gonna change my world. Nothing's gonna change my world. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. Jackaroo, David. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Sounds of laughter, shades of life are ringing through my opened ears, which shines around me like
This has such a sincere vocal performance.
across the universe.
Like, it feels like all of this emotion is being experienced in the moment. You know? Such a tangibility to everything on display here.
Nothing's gonna change my world.
This vocal performance is the strongest we've gotten so far, easily. I think that the orchestral elements really do give this song a heightened sense of atmosphere and drama, and I don't say drama in a bad way. Drama that actually like elevates the track to an uncanny, overwhelming degree, especially compared to the last two tracks. I don't know if I fully agree with that necessarily. Yeah, the song is absolutely delightful. The strongest of the bunch so far. It's a high 8 for me. The song is beautiful. Great orchestral elements being thrown into the mix here to give this track a heightened sense of atmosphere and drama. An absolutely stunning vocal performance here that has such a feeling of sincerity and in the moment rawness and realness that I absolutely fucking adored. I think that this track is the first example of a song that actually stands out and says something in this track list. This is the first song that feels like it actually matters. I don't want to like sound too harsh on the previous track. The previous songs. This is the first song that feels like it actually truly matters and has something of note to say. It's a great track. I'm hoping that we can get more of those. I know the context. I know the context of where the band were at this time. Watching Get Back would not change my opinion on this. I can guarantee you watching Get Back would not change my opinion because I know the context. It would just be like just more specifics. People put a little too much faith in my ability to like have my feelings changed by stuff like that. It never happens. I've tried to like re-listen to albums before knowing extra context, and genuinely, it's never changed anything. My opinion on the music is just my opinion on the music. I never try and go into an album and like... Well, it's not even how I try and go into an album. It's just like I struggle to separate the music from just the music. I rarely ever do that, you know? Sometimes the backstory on a track can make me appreciate an individual song more, but the music is just the music to me. And even like I've still not finished the anthology, but watching through the anthology, it was like, okay, this is cool. Did it drastically affect my opinions on those early albums? No.
I'm in mine, I'm in mine, I'm in mine. All through the night, I'm in mine, I'm in mine, I'm in mine. Now they're frightened of leaving it, everyone's weaving it, coming on strong all the time. All through the day, I'm in mine.
Great time signature switches. Definitely accentuates the mental frustration towards Paul McCartney being displayed here. Yeah, this track is a solid 8 for me. This one's fun. One of the first Beatles diss tracks towards Paul McCartney. Basically, George Harrison just being fed up of his shit and creating a fucking heater out of it. Nice kind of waltzy feel on the verses before going into like a nice swung rock and roll chorus that is a little heavier. It's a little more aggressive and abrasive. Yeah, I think this track is one of the most instrumentally interesting up to this point. I think that this track has one of the stronger vocal performances up to this point. The writing is certainly the best it's been on the entire album. Good shit. Dig it. Up next.
Like the FBI and the CIA and the BBC, BB King and Doris Day, Matt Busby. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. Can you dig it by Georgie Wood? And now we'd like to do Are the Angels Come?
That was fucking terrible. Wow. Flat 4. Let it be.
When I find find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Like, it's crazy that just how much stronger this track is immediately. Like, everything feels so much more well-groomed. These performances are so much tighter. Song is gorgeous.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be.
I do agree, great solo. Beautiful piano part, the orchestral elements here. Like, they really elevate this track as well.
Still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow. Let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Oh, there will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Oh, there will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be.
Yeah, this is quite easily, like, not even close, the best song on the album up to this point. I'm feeling a solid 9 on that. Just a beautiful ballad with an incredible solo. The best performances on the album that don't feel phoned in. They don't feel like any single member of the band are, like, pulling their punches at all. This track really is the band kind of in that Abbey Road level of top form, you know? This is just a genuinely beautiful track. I gave Octopus's Garden a 10 and a 9.6 to this. Octopus's Garden is peak, and this is also peak, but not quite as peak. Okay, listen, you gotta understand. Octopus's Garden, perfect track. One of the Beatles' most genuinely playful, fun, atmospheric songs that just, anytime I listen to it, it's the most delightful shit ever. This is still great. You know, it's not like this is a million shades worse than that song. It's just, I don't love it quite as much, you know? Maggie Mae.
Oh, dirty Maggie Mae, they have taken her away, and she never walked down Line Street anymore. Oh, the judge, she guilty found her, but up in the home of found her, that dirty, no good Robin. 22. £2.10 a week, that was my pay.
I was right the first time around. These interludes are really fucking bad. That one's, I don't know, what, like a high 3? Wow. They're actually kind of annoying. These interludes are really fucking bad. Like, to the point where they're kind of aggravating in terms of how they affect the flow of the album. They are, yeah, they're pretty fucking trash. I don't know why they're included. They do kill the pace a little bit. I've got a feeling... No lyric card for this one.
A feeling deep inside, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got a feeling I can't hide, oh no, no. Oh no, oh no. Yeah, yeah. I've got a feeling, yeah.
This one's from the rooftop performance.
Believe me, I'd hate to miss the train. Oh yeah. I need you to be the one around the rock. One around the heart, don't know what he told me. All I got me looking for is somebody who looks like you.
Great vocals. Again, Paul McCartney going into his, like, more distorted, shouty shit.
Keeps me on my toes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've got a feeling.
So it's kind of got a fun, bluesy sleaziness to it as well.
Everybody had a hard year. Everybody had a good time. Everybody had a wet dream. Everybody saw the sunshine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You thought the White Album would be the most depressing? This is dreadful in how little cohesion there is, despite how good it is for the most part individually. Yeah.
Had a good year.
Like, these are solid individual tracks, but this as an album is so sloppily put together. I cannot believe how little consistency there is track to track here. I'm enjoying this song, and I've enjoyed most of these songs up to this point, but Jesus Christ, this is not a good album experience.
Everybody let
They
their
didn't care for
hair
this release
down.
much at all and just wanted to move on. You can tell.
Everybody put the food down. Oh yeah. Everybody had a good year. Everybody had a hard time. Oh yeah. Everybody had a wet dream. Oh yeah. Everybody saw the sunshine. I got a
Yeah, this song's solid. It's high 7 for me. It's fun. It's got a great vocal performance from Paul McCartney. I think that the instrumental here kind of has a fun, bluesy sleaziness to its more rocking attitude, especially compared to the last handful of tracks. This one's fun. I wouldn't come back to this one on its own necessarily. The track does feel a little bit empty at points, maybe a little bit too sparse, a bit dry, but I don't know. For the most part, I did find this one to be quite fun. One after 909 up next.
My baby says she's traveling.
Glad they broke up at this time. There was a magic that needed to be freed in their own separate directions. Yeah.
Said, move over, honey. I'm traveling on that line. I said, move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be gold as ice. Said you're traveling on the one after 909.
The sound of them trying to repair their friendship and failing. Yeah.
Pick up my flag,
Oh, Let It Be Naked People seem to like that a lot more. Yeah.
red man said,
Interesting.
you got the wrong location. After 90, said you're traveling on the one after 909. Oh, Danny boy, the old Savannah calling.
Yeah, I'm feeling like another high 7 on that one. Yeah, that was just a fun 50s rock and roll throwback with obviously some more updated production. I think that the band will bring in a great energy to that track. Again, I feel like the actual song itself is a little basic. Isn't the type of track that I'd see myself coming back to, but still, it's good. Really good. That one's very fun. The Long and Winding Road.
The long and winding road that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here. Lead me to your door. The wild and windy night that the rain washed away has left a pool of tears, crying for the day.
Oh my god, this arrangement is stunning.
Why leave me standing here? Let me know the way. Many times I've been alone, and many times I'm crying. Anyway, you'll never know the many ways I've tried.
One of the most puzzling listens for you in a while? Yeah. You find it weird how I love this, but when Oasis does this, I hate it? What fucking Oasis song are you comparing this to? Which one? Huh? This sounds nothing at all like Oasis.
Winding road. You left me standing
Ah, all the roads we have to walk are winding. I see.
a long,
Means it's the
long
same, right?
time ago.
And the reason I don't like Oasis is not because of the type of music they make, it's because of the execution of the type of music they make. They just execute their stuff in a way that's piss poor for the most part. Talk about an epic over-the-top arrangement. Absolutely. I think this track is stunning. Low 9 for me. Incredible track. Seriously. Just an absolutely masterful arrangement. One of the strongest vocal performances on the whole album. So much raw passion going into this one. It feels like, I don't know, it just feels like this song is such an open artistic statement. Something that feels so surprisingly grounded and real in comparison to a lot of the other stuff we've been presented on the album that has felt a little forced at times. This track is just stunning, genuinely, in terms of its progression, in terms of the way it kind of moves in and out of these beautiful different sections. I didn't have any complaints about this one, seriously. Easily one of the strongest on the entire project. Easily. For You Blue. Paul didn't want the orchestra? Well, Paul was wrong in that case. In terms of that song.
Lovely girl, I love you because you're sweet and lovely girl. It's true. I love you more than ever, girl. I do. I want you in the morning, girl. I love you. I want you at the moment.
Wow, that was fucking painful. That was horrible. I can't believe that made it onto the album. Wow, that was so bad. That instrumental is one of the most aggravating, annoying things I've heard in quite a while. The plucky acoustics just are miserable. The entire time that track felt like at any point any member of the band could just drop their instrument and fucking just punch another one in the face. The amount of tension you can feel there just makes this such an uncomfortable listen. I really genuinely hated that song front to back. I'm feeling a low 3. Wow. That was bad. That was legitimately really fucking bad. Holy shit. Wow. I don't remember the album getting to a low quite as bad as that. That was just 2.5 minutes of awkward, messy tension that more than anything annoyed me. Final song, Get Back.
Rosetta. Sweet Loretta Fat, she thought she was a cleaner, but she was a frying pan. Yeah, that's it. The picker. Picks with the fingers, great. Okay.
Jojo was a man who thought he was a loner, but he knew it couldn't last. Jojo left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, Jojo. Go home. Get back, back to where you once belonged. Get back to where you once belonged. Oh, get back, Joe.
I'm not loving this one as much as I remember, but this song's really fun.
Get back to where you once belonged. Get back to right on.
Even when they're pissing around, Paul couldn't help showing off to the cameras and writing great songs. I mean, I like the driving pace of this song. These offbeat stabs are really nice. Gives the song a heightened sense of tension. A nice silly vocal performance from Paul McCartney here.
I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the group and ourselves, and I hope we pass the audition.
Yeah, Get Back is a solid 8 for me. A genuinely quite fun way to end this album. You know, it has some great offbeat stabs. I think Paul McCartney's silly vocal performance is quite sweet. I wasn't head over heels for this song. I wasn't like crazy on it or anything like that. I didn't love it quite as much as I remembered. But still, I think the song is legitimately quite fun and definitely a high note to end not only this album, but the band on. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for Let It Be. This album, it's fine. This album's fine. It's a mixed bag. There's some pretty rough shit in here, but the great songs are of the Beatles standard and quite great. I think that Across the Universe is quite the stunning moment on the album. I think that Let It Be is one of the band's most memorable songs for good reason. You get a song like The Long and Winding Road as well, like with some legitimately fantastic, stunning arrangements, sprawling production that gives the album a feeling of grandeur and emotional potency that does elevate it quite a good bit. But you also have some of the band's weakest material on here. I think that For You Blue is a strong contender for the weakest Beatles track, full stop. I think that the interludes are just... they kill the pacing of this thing. The interludes are fucking horrible. You get tracks on here like Two of Us and Dig a Pony as well that are just such flaccid, flat openers where the band feel like they're phoning it in to such a high degree that they didn't even, like, it doesn't even feel like they give a shit about, like, the first two tracks on this album at all. There are rough spots here. It's a decent album, but there are real rough spots where you can feel the band falling apart. And for as interesting as that is to see, it does not make for a satisfying listening experience at all. In fact, this is probably the weakest album experience of the Beatles, despite the fact that the songs here are strong for the most part. As a front to back cohesive album, it falls flat on its fucking face. There's no cohesion. None of these songs complement each other. None of these songs flow into each other in a way that feels like it works as a fucking satisfying experience in the slightest. Like, this thing does not work as an album at all. Chivo said it best in the chat. It should have been an EP. Yeah, the album's okay. I still think it's a fucking far cry from the strongest Beatles album. And I do think that Abbey Road would genuinely be a much stronger closing statement for the band, you know? They had 2 weeks with this album. I mean, they had... you know, they made an album that was at least more interesting than this with Please Please Me in a week. I'm going to run the numbers, and I will tell you what my overall score for this album is. I'm feeling a flat 7 on this album. A flat 7. It's one of their weakest. It's one of their weakest. Easily the weakest of the back half of their discography. I mean, from Rubber Soul onwards, they set such a standard of quality, and this doesn't come close. Bump up because of the interludes, that is the bump up because of the interludes. The 7 out of 10 is the bump up. If I let the album go down, it would be in, like, solid to high 6 territory. This album, it's good. Okay, it is a 7 out of 10. It is good. It's just the weakest of the back half of their discography, easily. They actually had the task to write 14 songs, rehearse, and perform them at the end, but it didn't really work out that well. Please Please Me was rehearsed for months. I mean, that doesn't necessarily make for, like, a better album experience, though. You know, I still think that as a project, this thing is quite rough. Even if I did enjoy it, I don't think this is an album that I am ever going to find myself listening to again. The band had the drama, of course, the band had the drama. This is probably going to be the last time I find myself listening to this album, to be honest. I can't see myself ever wanting to return to this thing again outside of, like, individual songs, you know? It's good, it's decent, but it is one of the Beatles' weakest. Like, quite handily one of the Beatles' weakest. 6 months later, we'll be hearing My Sweet Lord. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how, you know, once you let George Harrison do his thing, he creates a fucking masterpiece with All Things Must Pass, which anyone watching the video, you haven't watched my All Things Must Pass reaction, you should. That's a big, long video where I talk pretty in-depth about that album. That album's fucking incredible. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below and how it compares to other Beatles albums for you. You can check out all of my original Beatles reactions, all of the Beatles re-reactions, the original ranking, and the new ranking when that comes out in a playlist somewhere around here. Yeah, thank you to Chivo for editing the this reaction as well as all of the other Beatles re-reactions. I greatly appreciate it. Like and sub if you haven't. We're on our way to 4K. Links in the description to my Discord, my Album of the Year, my Twitter, and my other channels. Check those out if you haven't. And I'll see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye-bye.